Okay, this is a quick video to take you through the basics of what an orthographic drawing is and how we can use these sheets to produce orthographic drawings. So an orthographic drawing is a form of drawing that we use 2D views to represent a 3D object. So we're only drawing in 2D, but we're showing a 3D object. The 3D object we're going to show is this a set of blocks over here on the top right hand side of the page. And this is the orientation we have our page in when we're doing an orthographic drawing, because we're going to show three separate views. The first one we're going to work on is our front view in here, and that's going to be looking at this side here. That's going to be our front. Then we're going to do our side view, which is going to look at this side here. And then we're going to do our plan view or our top view, and that's going to look from up here. You need to imagine that when you're doing one of your views, you're only looking at that specific side. You can't see any other surfaces, only those surfaces you're looking at here. So I'm going to jump straight in. I'm going to show you my front view. Now there are a few rules we have to follow when we're doing this. And that's why we've got these grids along here. It has to be drawn accurately. So we're going to go to a certain scale, and I'm going to use every one of these lines here is one of these lines down here. So I'm going to look at mine. I'm going to start off, I can do them block by block if I want to, or I can try and draw the whole thing. I'm going to start off block by block. I'm going to draw this block here, which is 2 squares by 2 squares. I'll start off probably here. I'm going to go 2 squares up. Oh, that's a little bit wonky. And 2 squares across. And I'm drawing this on a drawing tablet on a computer, so it's not too easy. You should hopefully be doing this with a pencil and ruler on your page to make it look nice and neat. It is important you do it as neat as possible. I'm now going to do the one next to it. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4 across and 1, 2 high. So let's not do that or that. What have I done there? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and back across. So I've done that bit there, and I've done that bit there. I'm now going to do this blue one up here. So this one is 2 and half of that one, so 2, so that's 4. And you do need to be looking and trying to add up. And I know that if this is 2 and that's 4, the total is 6. I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also know that there's a gap of 2 here, which means this one has to be 4. So I'll draw this out. 1, 3. There we go. And I've got that surface there. We can't really see my shading in because I'm using the same blue as that color, which wasn't intended, but it's how it happens. And finally, I can do this red one up here, and that's just going to be 2 by 2, just like the bottom left. And there we go. That's that one done. So this could be a nice little helpful trick for you. Shade in or tick off the ones that you've done so you know you've got them. Okay, so now I've got this one done, I can start looking at one of my other 2 views. So to do that, I need to have some guidelines, because one of the rules, I mentioned there's some rules we have to follow. One of the rules is that they should be inline orientated. So I'm going to use my line tool on here, and it's come up in red, and red's fine. And I'm going to make sure things are in line. So I'm going to, let's undo that. I'm going to go from just above here, and I'm going to go straight up. Okay, my first red line. I'm going to do another one here. And then I need another one here. And I'll have another one here. Okay. So these are our construction lines. And these means that things will be nice and aligned. So I'll go back onto my drawing in the blue. And I need to draw my top surfaces now in line here. So I can start off with this here. I'll go with this top surface first, and that's 2 by 2. So I'll go 2 by 2 here, and it fits inside my construction lines. And then I've got this one here. Now, obviously you won't be able to see me shading that in, but that's going to be another 2 by 2. And you might have already figured out that the next one is going to be another 2 by 2. Because when we look from the top, all we're going to see is the tops of those 3 blocks. When we look from the front, all we're going to see is the front of those 4 blocks. Looking from the top, we can't see what's underneath that block. We'll come on to hidden detail in another video. I've now got to do my side view. So my side view, I'll go back to my lines and do my construction lines going across. So I need my top construction line. That's gone a little bit wonky, but we know roughly where it should be. My next construction line. Again, a little bit wonky, but we know where it should be. My third construction line. Oh, that one's good. And my fourth construction line. It's a lot easier to do with an actual pencil and ruler. So I can now go back to my drawing tool, and I need to draw the side view here. So showing it from the side. And I'm only going to see this surface, this one, and this surface here. So I'll start by drawing my 2 by 2. And then I'm going to see another 2 by 2. And a third 2 by 2. And there we go. I've got my 3 separate views. And what I can then do for the more advanced stuff is I can start putting my dimensions on. And to dimension this, you could do arrows, but you need to do arrows. I'm going to do mine with slightly different colour. I'll go for green. I'll go for a light blue, just so you can see it. I'm going to reduce my thickness of my lines just a little bit. So when you're doing this, what you need, I'll start over here. I'll have a little leader line coming out, and then between them I'll have a nice straight line drawn with a ruler, and a small arrowhead that is filled in. And it is actually very important that you fill the arrowhead in. That is one of those little nuanced rules that we have to follow. And then I put my measurement. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 squares. We haven't got a real unit for this. We don't know if we're working in millimeters, centimeters, or what any of these squares mean. So let's go 6 squares for now. And we can also do the width. But drawing a line between here with arrows is quite tight. So instead, we'd put the arrows on the outside. We're being strange. There we go. And now I can say 2 squares. Make that look like an S. There we go. So we can start putting our dimensions on. What you shouldn't ever do is duplicate your dimensions. So we know that this height with our guidelines is 6 squares. That means that over here we might measure these 2 squares and these 2 squares, but we wouldn't measure these 2 squares, because 2 plus 2, and we know that the height is 6, so that has to be 2. It seems a little bit counterintuitive to some, and I understand, but this is one of those conventions, because if you make a mistake here and I accidentally said this was 3, that would contradict this measurement of 6. So we have to make sure that there's no duplications to prevent any contradictions. We can also do our widths here. So I know this one is 4, so I can start measuring out this one. I can do this one as 2 as well. And I wouldn't need to measure this one, or I could measure just this one over here. But then I want to put some measurements over here, so I might leave that and just do this measurement here and here. And so I know that I can do that one as my 6. And I somehow need to do my measurement here. So what I can do is do my measurement here of 4. And I don't need to measure the 2 because 4, 6, 2. It's a given. And this one of 4 here, if I put this as 4, we know that this has got to be 2 because this is 6. So this is orthographic drawing. And this is a very, very quick and basic video on how to do an orthographic drawing. But these are the rules we have to follow. So we have our front view, our plan view, and our side view. Okay. Use this to complete the worksheets you've been given, and good luck.